box sat on our kitchen table like a silent, sleeping thing. Ordinary on the outside, but somehow it pulled at the air, made the whole room feel heavier. The cardboard was damp from the morning fog, and a strip of silver duct tape ran crooked across the top like a bandage. I could still smell the rain on it. And as I reached out to touch it, just to turn it, my wife's voice cut through the quiet like the crack of a whip. "Don't open it? Can't you see?" I froze hand inches from the tape. Her eyes, red, rimmed with sleepless worry, locked onto mine. She wasn't pleading. She was warning me. And that was what stopped me more than anything. Marianne didn't speak like that, unless something inside her had snapped, or was just about to. But that's not where this story begins. No, to understand the box, to understand why my wife recoiled from it like it had teeth, you need to know about the girl who sent it. Our daughter, Emily, and the ghosts we let grow between us long before she ever sealed that cardboard shut. Emily was born on a rainy Thursday in March, all fists and fire and lungs strong enough to split stone. She came into this world loud, wild, and beautiful. Her hair already a dark tangle, her grip tight around my pinky finger, as if she knew I'd be a father who needed anchoring. Marianne and I were young then, just 30, still figuring out how to hold a marriage together with equal parts love and apology. We built a life in a house that always needed painting, surrounded by fields of dry grass and a sky that never could decide what color it wanted to be. I taught English at the high school. Marianne was a nurse. And Emily, she was a storm in human form. Creative, stubborn, and sharp in ways that made teachers call home and ask if we'd ever thought about therapy or testing her for something. But she was brilliant. God, she was brilliant. She could paint by the time she was 5, sketch a whole face in under a minute by 8. She saw the world like a puzzle already half solved, and just needed the rest of us to catch up. I remember once, when she was 11, she said to me, "Dad, why do adults always pretend they're okay when they're not? It makes it really hard to know who to trust." I didn't have an answer for her then. I still don't now. The first crack came when she turned 16. A boy. Isn't that always how these stories go? His name was Luke, older, charming in a way that set my teeth on edge. I didn't like the way he looked at her, like she was a challenge, a conquest. Marianne said I was being paranoid, that Emily needed room, space. But one night, Emily didn't come home. No call, no message. Marianne was pacing by the window in her robe, and I was already grabbing my keys when the sheriff's deputy knocked on our door. DUI. She'd been in the car with him. He was drunk. She was screaming at the officers, saying they didn't understand, saying she loved him. That night something in her shut off, and something in me hardened. Over the next 2 years, we fought more than we talked. She'd vanish for days, come back smelling like weed and gasoline and anger. I grounded her. She screamed. I threatened to take her car. She keyed mine. Marianne was always in the middle, trying to hold us both together, but even she started slipping away, silent during dinners, staring too long at nothing. And then she left. The note was short. "You don't love me the way I need to be loved. Maybe you never did." She was 18. Gun. Vanished into a city 2 states away with no forwarding address, no calls, no emails. That was 5 years ago. We tried to move on. Or at least pretend we did. Marianne threw herself deeper into her work. I stopped writing, stopped journaling, grading, even reading. It was like we both agreed to a silent pact: don't say her name, and maybe the pain won't show up again. And then, on Father's Day, a package arrived. No return address. Just our names scrawled in a handwriting I hadn't seen in half a decade, but would have recognized in a dark cave. I picked it up like it might explode. Heavy. Too heavy for a card or a photo. There was a rattle inside, something metal against metal. That's when Marianne said it, her voice cracking like a branch snapping under pressure. "Don't open it? Can't you see?" I turned to her. "What are you talking about?" I think she's trying to hurt you." "What? She's not the girl you remember?" she whispered. "Not anymore." That's when she told me something I didn't know. 3 weeks before the box came, Emily had called Marianne. One of those midnight phone calls you never forget. Marianne said she sounded off, distant, talking about justice, about revenge, about how truth was a weight too many people avoided. She kept saying, "He needs to see. He needs to know what he did." I sat down at the table. My fingers hovered over the tape. She said it would make you remember. Marianne whispered, "Remember what?" But she didn't answer. There's something about silence between two people who used to love each other deeply. It doesn't sound empty. It roars. In that moment, I realized something terrible. I didn't know what she was referring to. But I also didn't know what I'd forgotten. Or ignored. I opened the box. Inside was a small, leather-bound journal. A rusted locket, a stack of photographs, and a USB stick wrapped in a piece of cloth with red stitching. Something that looked like a child's attempt at embroidery. On the cloth were 3 words tied. "You closed your eyes." Marianne gasped. I pulled out the locket first. Inside was a photo of Emily, aged maybe 7, happy, covered in paint, grinning. And on the other side, a picture of her and someone else, a man I didn't recognize, maybe in his 40s, smiling. The photos in the box, all of him, with her, at a park, a motel, a car, some of them blurry, some of them deeply disturbing. My stomach turned. I recognized the man. His name was Greg Tillman. He taught math at my school. My department head for over a decade. I knew him. I had recommended him to tutor Emily. The journal held her handwriting, pages of entries, each one darker than the last. She detailed what he did, how he gained her trust, how he manipulated her, made her feel special, made her afraid to speak. She was 14, and I never saw it, she told me, in small ways, in signs I dismissed. "You closed your eyes." I played the video on the USB. She was older, 23 maybe. Her hair longer, dyed black. She sat in a small apartment, talking directly to the camera. "Hi, Dad, if you're watching this, I guess I got brave enough to send the box. Or stupid enough. I don't know which. I don't really care anymore. I need you to see. I need you to know that the man you respected, that you laughed with in the teacher's lounge, that you had beers with after work, he hurt me. For months. And you didn't see it. Or maybe you did, and just didn't want to believe it." She wiped her eyes. "I'm not sending this because I hate you. I'm sending it because I need to let go of carrying all of this alone. You need to carry it too. Because you should have protected me. And maybe you still can. Maybe it's not too late." The screen went black. For the next hour, Marianne and I sat in silence. We wept. We raged. I wanted to break everything in the room and crawl into a hole at the same time. Greg Tillman had died 2 years earlier. Heart attack. Quiet. Peaceful. But his secrets had stayed behind. And now they were mine to bear too. That was the first of many boxes. Over the next few weeks, Emily sent more. Letters, pieces of artwork, even a poem she wrote about how children become shadows when their pain goes unheard. It wasn't revenge she wanted. It was acknowledgement. It was healing. And it took a long time, but I finally called her. Really called her. The phone rang 5 times. I was ready to hang up when her voice came through, raw, cautious. "Hello."
"It's me," I said.
"It's Dad." And I finally saw. A long pause, then a breath and a whisper. "Good." We talked for hours that night, not just about what happened, but about everything. The years we lost, the moments I missed, the girl I remembered, the woman she was becoming, and slowly, we began to stitch something back together. Not the old thing, not the broken thing, but something new. So if you ever find yourself staring at a box, afraid to open it because of what might be inside, ask yourself what's worse, the pain of knowing or the silence of never finding out. Because sometimes, the only way to heal is to look into the dark and say,